This is the second of 2 live games on the British Basketball League YouTube channel tonight. And after victories over Sheffield and Bristol, the Eagles of Newcastle are soaring high. But the Cheshire Phoenix got off to a flyer as well. A surprise 24-point win in week 1 over the Leicester Riders. Now spreading their wings in commentary is Josh Bett and Azania Stewart.
Well, thank you so much, Jeanette, and welcome, Basketball fans. This big matchup here in the British Basketball League between the Cheshire Phoenix and our hosts, the Newcastle Eagles. Well, hi, everybody. I'm your commentator, Josh Bett, alongside Queen Azania Stewart. Z, this is going to be one hell of a matchup.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this game this evening.
Well, of course, these two teams now coming into this game with big expectations. The Newcastle Eagles looking to remain unbeatable here in their start to the British Basketball League, while Cheshire Phoenix off the back of a very disappointing home defeat against the likes of the Sheffield Sharks. Well, Newcastle Eagles players coming into the building. There is their starting lineup here tonight. Johnson and Taj Green, the big names for this team. But no doubt we're going to see a big performance from Del Pesh and, of course, from Ricky McGill. Cheshire Phoenix, on the other hand, as we mentioned, losing at home to the Sheffield Sharks. Maceo, Jack, and Rideau having big games to them, but they need other players to step in and step up. No doubt, of course, Arian Rye, the man who made the jump from NBL to the British Basketball League, is going to have a very big game here tonight. Well, now we're going to take a look at one of the superstars of Zania, Taj Green. He has been a huge fan favorite here at the Toon.
Listen, he is Mr. Double-Double. There's his average numbers there, 18 points. But he is the engine for this team. I've really enjoyed him playing last game. He had 19 points and 11 rebounds. Real tough.
Of course, it is a team game, as they say, but, you know, another key player, Johnson, has been huge for Newcastle Eagles.
Yeah, I think he's key. Obviously scoring 26 points last game, but, you know, he's tough. I think he's loves the moment, steps up, was strong. But you know what's coming into his own is the three-point shot. It takes a bit of time to get it off, but it's pretty good.
Well, now there you can see the Newcastle Eagles players, but now let's go over to the Cheshire Phoenix. Maceo Jack, second season now with the Phoenix. He needs to be big here tonight.
Yeah, Jack is just tough. You know, playing very, very well these last 2 games. Had 20 points. He's averaging 21, 3 assists and 7 rebounds. It's very important he gets going early.
Well, now, of course, the Cheshire Phoenix loaded with a lot of good players in their teams, but no doubt, of course, Arian Rye leading some of the key statistics for the British Basketball League this season.
Yeah, he's exciting, Rye. I think, you know, averaging the 20 points, 6 assists and 8 rebounds. That's tough. As he gets going, the team gets going. They had a huge win versus the Riders the first game of the season. Obviously, a tough loss last game, but they're trying to bounce back.
Well, this is going to be a key matchup here in the British Basketball League between the Cheshire Phoenix as they take on the Newcastle Eagles. But we'll be back momentarily as we take this short break.
You put the work in, everyone knows you deserve it. They must be blind like curtains, certain anything you got, you've earned it. Sky's the limit, you're reachable. Your heights achievable. Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
We are basketball.
Team is everything.
We fight till the final moment.
Slow in the corner for the win. Can you believe it?
These are new beginnings. Time to raise the standard.
Be better than the best.
McKenzie. Oh, beautiful.
10 teams, 1 goal.
Become the champion.
You know, and it's playoff champions. Let's see this in 2 decades.
We are basketball.
We are basketball.
We are basketball.
We are British basketball.
Welcome back, British Basketball League fans. At the moment, it's going to be the Newcastle Eagles as they get set to take on the Cheshire Phoenix. But Zania, why don't we take a look at the starting lineups for these two teams here live in Newcastle this evening? We'll start with the Eagles, but how can we break down that starting five?
Well, you know, I think this is a crucial starting five, but we on the bench, Larry Austin Jr. I'm surprised he's not in the starting lineup, but I like this energy from them. You know, they are playing with so much confidence, 2-0 to start the season, and that's really good going into a game like this.
Well, of course, Josh Ward-Hibbert coming off the bench along with Will Neighbor. But again, now we'll take a look at the starting lineups for the visitors of the Cheshire Phoenix. And no doubt, of course, Arian Rye in the starting lineup, but some also key influential players in the starting five.
Yeah, and let's talk about White, right? Number 99 is shooting the three-point shot so incredibly well. Over 50%. Last game, he was 7 from 14. He is shooting lights out, so you know, Cheshire need to be careful, find him early, but he stretches that defense so well.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had a chance to meet with the coaches. Let's get their thoughts on this opening game between the Cheshire Phoenix and the Newcastle Eagles.
We want to play better. We want to play better basketball. I think, like most teams at this time of the year, you know, we're pleased that we've had two tough wins. You know, and then we've had a chance to get on the floor and have a good week of practice, and yeah, we're still building towards trying to be a complete team. So we want to play better basketball, and we want to go and, you know, keep the momentum going and try and get a win tonight against a dangerous Cheshire team.
You guys need a big turnaround after the defeat you had at home last week.
Yeah, obviously disappointing result, but you know, credit to Sheffield. They make teams play like a slow, ugly style of basketball, and they've done that just to us. So you know, it's an opportunity for us to bounce back and try and, you know, show what we're about. Credit to Cheshire, they've obviously identified their style really early, and we've had a chance to watch them now over a couple of games. You know, we understand that Skylar White is a threat from the three-point line, playing the five, and you know, the way that their guards rebound. So yeah, we have to make sure that we execute our game plan. We have specific ideas on their personnel, specific ideas against their actions. I also think if we play the right way and we execute, you know, we can cause them some problems also. It's going to be tough. You know, they've got three quick guards. We've got to try and slow them down. We know they try and play quick off the first action of offenses, so we've got to make sure our first line of defense is there. And then we've got to stop the bigs as well. Obviously, Taj Green is having a great start to the season, and obviously we know what they've got in Delpesh and Will Neighbor, so we're going to have our hands full, but you know, all the hard work's done now. We've just got to go out there and do the job that we've been talking about.
Well, there you heard from both coaches, but now we're just over a minute away from tip-off. And, you know, Zayn, I got to ask you, you know, Newcastle Eagles looking to remain unbeatable here in the British Basketball League. And I'm going to ask your prediction. Who's going to leave tonight with the victory?
Oh, this one's so hard. I'm going to give it to the home team. I think they're playing with wonderful confidence. But you know, the Phoenix, they lost last game, but, you know, it really could have been their own, you know, they could have been 2-0 going into this, but Coach Ben said, you know, we need to play hard, we need to play our style, but he knows the weapons that Newcastle have, so it's going to be big on their defensive end. Can they get the stops and the scores?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to head to a short little break before we get started for this big game here between the Eagles and the Phoenix. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome you here to the Virtus Motors Arena in Newcastle for tonight's British Basketball League fixture between our hosts, the Newcastle Eagles, and the visitors, the Cheshire Phoenix. Simon Unsworth, Marion Dodds, Milk Glossick, and Matthew Lloyd are three referees for tonight's game. But Azania is going with the home team. But guess I'm just going to have to go with the Phoenix to make this a balanced competition here tonight on the commentary.
That's a good idea.
Well, the tip is underway, and it will be Newcastle who have the first possession. Of course, getting off to a good start. One victory at home already here against the Sheffield Sharks, and a big victory on the road against the Bristol Flyers. But can they maintain that good start into this epic season in the British Basketball League? Well, trying to go for a handoff, but an early turnover there from the Eagles.
Good defense. Phoenix, first possession.
Well, Phoenix, as we know, a team as they showed in their opening game on the road against the Leicester Riders, a team that predominantly does like to shoot the three-pointer. There's a penetration. Right, left wide open, takes the three, but again, way off the mark. But that's not a bad shot there for them.
No, it's not. And, you know, just settle in, get rid of the nerves maybe. But the crowd, you know, Newcastle are going to be tough as they shout, air ball. It's going to be a tough night. And let's just talk about the fans. Newcastle fans are incredible. They also travel, but they have packed out tonight's game.
Well, a big season, of course, for basketball up in Tyneside. They will only be playing in the British Basketball League, also in the European Northern Basketball League. Del Pesh there, drawing the foul against Skylar White, and a nice little early entry to the big man.
I want to see this again because I don't agree. I don't think that's a foul. And yeah, White's going to be upset with that.
Well, a bit of an overzealous decision there from the official to send Del Pesh to the free throw line. But, you know, it's been a key, experience for him playing in the British Basketball League for a few clubs already. But, the expectations on this man playing for arguably the greatest team historically in the British Basketball League.
Yeah, I think he struggled the first couple of games, so hopefully he's kind of getting his groove back. He also has a brother in the league, so I wonder what some of those conversations are about. The Del Pesh brothers. Do you call him, after the game and say, "Hey, bro, did you watch my game tonight?" I think that would be kind of cool if they did. Probably they do. Maybe I need to reach out and see if they do.
Well, Rideau now making a penetration. Right, just falling over. They're going to call a blocking foul here against Del Pesh. Yeah, one thing that Cheshire did struggle in their game against Sheffield Sharks at home was a solid inside presence, but also defensively protecting the rim. And you got to wonder, of course, Taj Green is going to have a really big game to try and exploit that weakness within. And there you can see already the game being played between the Plymouth City Patriots and the Manchester Giants. That's currently been played in Plymouth.
It's going to be a fun one, I think.
Well, there you can see a 9-point lead already to the host. And I think, you were favoring Manchester Giants going into that game.
Yeah, I did. I just felt like they have been playing very well, tough. They're 0-2. But, Plymouth were awful the first game, but they have bounced back, and I'm happy to see it.
Phoenix now looking for their first field goal. Let's see what we do now. Looking for a penetration. Goes in with a little Euro step and just finds his way to the bucket.
Oh, I like that move. Lovely little finish. I thought Taj Green was going to come in and block that, so great finish by him.
Well, one thing we can expect from Taj Green is going relentlessly after offensive rebounds. The inside presence from this team, but at the moment, the Phoenix doing a good job of keeping him off the offensive boards. Getting the ball over the halfway court, and they just avoid the 8-second violation. White left, wide open three, and again, doing what he does best.
I'm going to clap for that one, Josh, because no doubt that is on the scouting report. High up, that Skylar White shoots the three over 50%, and you let him shoot his first shot. Terrible defense by Newcastle.
Well, Phoenix again trying to be aggressive here on defense. But at the moment, Stevens almost forcing another turnover, but will be the Eagles' ball deep on the sideline. Remember, they haven't lost so far in the opening 2 games. Johnson making a penetration, going all the way to the bucket, and he gets the at one, and he'll go to the free throw line here for the 3-point play.
As he skips to the free throw line, we spoke about him at the top of the broadcast. Look at that move, Josh. Real confidence, feeling it. He's been playing wonderful. We've been talking about Taj Green every week. He is, man of the match, player of the game. But this guy at the free throw line is also the 1-2 punch for the Newcastle Eagles.
Well, again, an exciting player that they brought into the lineup this season. It is, previously had played in the British Basketball League, but, it's a very tough task when you play for a team that has such big expectations. Again, they'll be looking, and Stevens now goes for a wide open look. Can't get it. Trying to battle for offensive boards, but Eagles doing a good job. Can they get something quick in transition? 3 is up, but again, no good. Firing Wright coming up with loose ball. Hannah, wide open layup. They go for another three. Can they make it 2 from the perimeter? And the Phoenix finding their confidence early on, Azania.
Really lovely rotation on that shot.
Well, Newcastle maybe a little bit anxious in their opening plays here, trying to get things going in transition, but another penetration. Redu goes all the way with a fang roll. Now, does he count it?
Sure do.
So he's going to the free throw line for another three-point play. And you love the way this man just dissects the defense down with heavy penetration.
You're so right. Slices it up, gets to the rim. Nice finish. And we get to see it twice. It was that nice.
I'm not sure who they called the foul. Was it on Del Pesh or was it on Taj Green? But at the moment, Newcastle's defense just showing a few frailties at the moment.
And, you know, I feel like they're rushing Newcastle around the rim. We've seen Taj Green miss a few layups. Just they need to get their head up early, get their eyes on the rim, and then shoot. I think they're just rushing.
Well, the decision has been overturned, so the Eagles will get possession back in the full court. It's been a tough 2 years for the Newcastle Eagles. I mean, no doubt, of course, last season doing a phenomenal job of just taking that final playoff position. But as I've mentioned in previous games, of course, this fan base, all they know is winning.
Right.
And it's been able to adapt to being on the back foot. But can they turn things around here? Goes to the pump fake. Johnson makes a contact.
So
Look at the
smart.
charity strike with 3 shots.
Listen, that's so smart. Just being poised in that shot. He knew the defender was coming. That little pump fake. And then the referees are all over it this season. You have to let the shooter land with space. And he doesn't do that. That is 100% a foul.
Oh, Quincy Rideau getting called for the foul there. Just too much help side defense, which led to the penetration and the kick out.
Talking about Newcastle, you know, I feel like they've done a wonderful job in the off-season, in the summer, going out, recruiting, getting top players. We haven't spoken about Josh Ward-Hibbett, came from London Lions, a wonderful player, tough on the defensive end. You know, the list goes on. Austin Jr. also is a gritty, hardcore player. He's on your bench, ready, you know, ready to come off. So I think Newcastle have done an incredible job in the off-season to have their team ready.
He was 10 for 12 from the field against the Bristol Flyers, finishing with 26 points, and thus leading them to their second victory this season of the British Basketball League. But can he maintain that excellence to keep them unbeatable so far this season? White had a wide open look. Makes one more pass to the corner. Third triple now coming for the Knicks.
I really like
Cheshire
that.
feeling it.
Yeah, really like that for Cheshire, sharing the ball. White shooting over 50%, and he passes it for a wonderful shot in the corner.
Can they go for another one? Another 3 is up. This one rolls its way in and out. Skylar White trying to battle for an offensive board, but that goes out of bounds, and the Eagles will get possession back.
Good energy from the Phoenix. You know, playing on the road is so tough. You're going to have to travel that day. Here's the extra pass by White. Wonderful splash and nothing but net, and a good answer.
Trailing potentially by 2 possessions. The Eagles trying to find their way back in this. Johnson calling for a ball screen here with Del Pesh. Goes for another 3. This one is up, and again, nothing but net from Jordan Johnson.
Woo! I told you he's playing with such confidence. You can see the swagger is just oozing out of him, and it's exactly what the Eagles need from him right now.
The Phoenix do have 3 3-point field goals. Arian Ryan trying to find a bit of space. Goes that spin out. White's made 1, goes for another one. Another offensive board for the Knicks. But left uncontested, Redo nails it. And that's 4 triples here for the Knicks. Well, this could be a problem here for the Newcastle Eagles because Cheshire, one of those teams, their confidence can be very contagious when they hit those perimeter shots. But at the moment, Eagles failing to respond. Knicks now looking to extend that 5-point lead. Building momentum here on the road against the Newcastle Eagles is going to be crucial. On the penetration. But an offensive foul is going to be called. Well, there was a penetration. A good defense by the Eagles, stepping out and drawing that charge.
Really good defense, put his body on the line, took the hit, and gets rewarded with the charge. Good job by Delpesh. And talking about defensive man, Josh Ward-Hibbett, number 2, has subbed in. Wonderful guy. I played with him at the London Lions last season. We had the battle of fashion. You know, he's really quite cute with these outfits.
Well, it must have been one competitive head-to-head between you two, of course.
But I won.
Oh, no doubt. But, you know, Josh Ward-Hibbett in the last game against Bristol was the key X factor in the final moments. Hibbett going baseline. One more pass. Johnson's made one thread again. This guy has come ready to play, Zania.
He has. Yep. I just love it. I love the energy. That's why I'm so excited. And they got the steal also.
Well, it goes out of bounds. That will remain Newcastle Eagles possession.
I knew this game was going to be a juicy one. I just think these teams match up really well. Cheshire have come out and shooting the ball very well.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go for a quick timeout as we'll return momentarily.
You put the work in, everyone knows you deserve it. They must be blind like curtains, certain. Anything you got, you've earned it. Sky's the limit, lost the heights achievable. Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable.
Every time they wanna clash, I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stop, and we're running out of clock. I fail what's gonna stop. I am unbeatable, I am unbeatable.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Virtus Motor Arena in Newcastle for this British Basketball League matchup between our hosts, the Eagles, and the visitors, the Cheshire Phoenix. But, you know, so far it's been a relatively strong start here for the visitors, Zania.
Yeah, great start. 4 from 8 from the three-point line. They're shooting lights out.
Well, Johnson so far leading the way here for the Eagles. Still undefeated so far this season in the British Basketball League, but goes out of bounds. There's another Eagles turnover. You can see currently on the floor, McGill, Austin Jr., Ward-Hibbett, Johnson, and Delpesh.
I like this 5 now. I've been waiting for Austin Jr. to come off the bench.
Knicks currently have Christian, Maceo, Jack Stevens, Chagwa, and Holden currently leading the British Basketball League this season with assists per game. They need to maintain that brilliance from the perimeter. The foul is going to be called against Ricky McGill. I'll let you break this one down.
Yeah, let me have a look.
There's a bit of a hook there, I think.
Yeah, a little bit, but I don't know about that one either. But I don't have an orange t-shirt or a whistle, so I'll stay with you.
The only kind of issue I have with that call is, the defense has to adapt to the call, of course.
Right.
And then,
have to adjust.
Another three-pointer come from Stevens. Can they make it number 5? But again, another offensive board, loose ball going in favor to the Knicks. Slight delay in game, of course. The officials just trying to short out the shot clock. Will be a sideline ball to Cheshire. Well, interesting, of course, with the Phoenix. A team that, lives and dies by the perimeter. But so far, they've been getting high percentage looks, working in their offense to make sure that every shot is a good one.
Well, I like, they live and die by the three-point shot. But what they're doing, they're turning down a good shot for a great shot. We saw Skylar White pass it on to a corner 3. I think they're all fantastic shots, but they're doing it all. They're slicing to the rim and shooting the ball very well.
5 seconds here on the shot clock. Got to get something going. Another penetration, another 3 in the corner. hits the side of the backboard, and the home crowd ironically cheer for that one.
He had to shoot that with the shot clock running down. So you just got to run that one off and forget about it.
Tough contest to take there for Maceo Jack, but you know, player after 1 year experience so far here in the British Basketball League, it's fair to say that he needs to be the go-to option on offense for this Phoenix team.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you know, they'll look for him very early in this offense, get him started.
Eagles trying to go for a dribble handoff, ultimately with a pick and roll between Johnson and Delpesh. Time winding down, McGill goes for a deep three, can't get it. Delpesh battles for the offensive ball, but a foul is going to be called against Kristen. And you like to see that from the Eagles, of course. Something we expected with players such as Delpesh and Taj Green to really crash the boards after seeing how vulnerable the backcourt defense has been. But there's an update from the Plymouth Pavilion. Says the City Patriots currently holding on to a slender 2-point lead against the Manchester Giants. And Azania, she said the Giants were going to be favorites of that game.
Yeah, they're coming back down 2. Good start. Happy for Plymouth also. I think they're doing much, much better. It's a long season, you know, so you just have to have a short memory, forget about game 1 and move on.
Well, Delpesh currently at the free throw line here for the Newcastle Eagles. You know, I'm going to ask you a very controversial question.
Hit me with it.
Marcus or Malcolm, which one would you want on your team? They're both great, of course.
You can't do that to me. Well, who I do love is Will Neighbor. Let's talk about him. A great guy. We have to shout out Mama Neighbor. She always watches his game, and she's one of my fans. And that's a good steal.
Another steal here in the full court for the Eagles. Good defense by Larry Austin Jr. Finding Ward Hibbert, 2 former London Lions players. Pick and pop, finds Neighbor in the corner, can't get it. Already you can see the defensive presence of Larry Austin Jr. making things happen against his former club. It's always got to be interesting, you know, and you probably experienced this as well when you play against your former employers here in the British Basketball League. They go for a 5th three-pointer, but another offensive board crash, rejection by Taj Green. Green probably lucky not to pick up a technical foul there.
Yep, he's got to rein it in. Can't, you know, run up on the referee like that. Look at this block, though. It's a good rebound.
Green just given the red light there to Kristen, and that's what they need from his defensive presence. But another offensive foul is going to be called against the Cheshire Phoenix. It's a tough one whenever you would have known this in your pro career, being a center, setting screens, but that's another tough one, I think. I'll let you break that one down.
Why do you keep doing that to me, setting me up? You know what, the screens we've talked about, the referees are all over it. They're all over setting early, you know, strong screens, and then also letting the shooter land with lots of space. But I just think it's all about the person with the ball. If you don't wait for your guy to come up and set the screen solid, you're setting him up for failure, and the referees are watching with a hawk eye.
McGill makes a tough penetration, finds Ward Hibbert, throws up in the corner, again no good. Ball foul here against Larry Austin Jr., I believe, on the box out. So these two teams locked in at 16 apiece, but the Cheshire Phoenix will get it back.
I think both these teams just need to adjust to the refereeing, because they're blowing their whistle very, very quickly. So you just got to be a bit more disciplined, get your hands out, set solid screens, and like I said, just be disciplined.
Can the Phoenix retake the lead? Just under 2.5 here in the first quarter. Trying to use a ball screen from David Ulf. Taking this one out, back to Ryan. Can they go for a 5th three-pointer corner? You bet they can. This team at the moment getting the umbrellas ready.
Let it rain in Newcastle.
So far, shooting 41% from the perimeter. Newcastle Eagles have made 2 3-point field goals, but a costly turnover calls against Taj Green as he gets called for a travel. That's already the Eagles' 3rd turnover. I mean, not too much to worry about, but you know, they can't afford to make these silly mistakes early on in the game. They want to build that momentum.
Yeah, let's have a look. No, I wouldn't say that's... Yeah, that's very harsh. I think he hadn't established his pivot foot. Being quite critical of the referees today.
You're being very honest. I like it. That's what we're
They're going to call me up later.
There's a post up, and another foul's called on the ground. It's going to be called against Will Neighbor. So 2 free throws coming up for the Cheshire Phoenix. Chagwan, you'd like to see this. I mean, this is something you would have done back in your day, the solid back to the post game.
Yeah, I think he works, you know, early. As long as you work early in the offense, post up, get the ball, and when you're deep like that, it's always a good thing for you. But like I said, with the refereeing, I just think they're calling it fair both ways. You know, they're calling the foul very early, the touch fouls. You have to adjust as a player. Nobody's got 2 fouls, which is okay, but team fouls. Cheshire at team fouls and Newcastle are in the bonus spot.
Ethan Chagwa currently at the free throw line for the Phoenix, playing in the NBA Summer League for the Los Angeles Lakers. Starting university basketball at Southern Methodist University for finishing his last season at the University of Oklahoma. Back to a 5-point deficit. He's trying to get in some rhythm here, trying to get the fans into the game. Austin Jr. going baseline, making the contact and finishing off the backboard.
I love that offense for the Eagles. All 5 players touch the ball, swing the ball to Austin Jr. and a tough finish at the rim.
And kicking this one out to David Off, but the Phoenix trying to find their balance in their offense. For another 3-pointer. Front iron again goes out of bounds, and that will be possession back to the Eagles. Again, you know, it's only going to be one game plan here for the Cheshire Phoenix. This team, they want to make it rain from the perimeter.
They sure do, as they shoot another 3-point shot. They are 5 from 12.
Neighbor in the paint, looking to kick this one out. Nowhere to go here. Makes a bit of contact from the mid-range, and nothing but net from just outside the key.
Good patience by Will.
That's a good shot there by Neighbor, because that could potentially be a 2-for-1 if the Newcastle Eagles are able to get a stop here. Ryan goes in, uncontested, too easy, going straight to the bucket. He's made a solid start to his opening 2 games so far here in the British Basketball League. Currently now 2 seconds difference between the game and shot clock. Larry Austin Jr. trying to wind this one down. Neighbor's wide open. Don't get the ball to him. 2 seconds now. Finds Will Neighbor. Pump fakes. 3 is up. Again, no good. It's the final shot here in the first quarter. Cheshire Phoenix lead this one 23-20 against the Newcastle Eagles. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back momentarily.
You put the work in, everyone knows you deserve it. They must be blind like curtains, certain anything you got, you've earned it. Sky's the limit, you're reachable. Your step high is achievable. Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
We are basketball.
Team is everything.
We fight till the final moment.
Slow in the corner for the win. Can you believe it?
These are new beginnings. Time to raise the standard.
Be better than the best.
McKenzie. Oh, beautiful.
10 teams, 1 goal.
Become the champion.
You know, and it's playoff champions. I've seen this in 2 decades.
We are basketball.
We are basketball.
We are basketball.
Can you believe it?
We are British basketball.
Welcome back, British Basketball League fans, and again, watching live on the British Basketball League YouTube. Fans, we do realize that we have a few technical difficulties that we are experiencing. We do apologize as we are sorting those issues out, and now we return here for the second quarter. Well, Zania, so far it's been, as expected, a good shooting night so far for the Knicks.
Yeah, they've come out and yet again another three-point shot. They are not shy to shoot the three. That's for sure. They scored their first 4 really, really quickly, but kind of cooled off now.
Well, traveling violations going to be called against Josh Ward-Hibbert, and right decision there by the officials. But, going back to the previous travel that they called against Taj Green, the one where he picked it up, you mentioned something, hadn't established his pivot foot.
Yeah, I felt like he was still kind of up in the air while he was catching the ball and hadn't landed. And when I mean establish the pivot foot, is once you put one foot down, then that is kind of the foot that you're going to work with within the dribble. And then that one was a travel, and Josh Ward-Hibbert said, sorry, my bad. Especially in the European game, you have to put the ball down first before you move your feet. In the American game, you can move your feet and then dribble. It's kind of different.
Well, good rotation by the Eagles on defense. Again, they got a wide open look with David Olf, but unable to convert it. Eagles trailing by 3. Larry Austin Jr. trying to go all the way, but again, struggling to the intense pressure from the defense. And the Phoenix get a good look in transition. Now make it a 5-point lead yet again.
Quick bucket by them from a miss. That was really good for the Phoenix. And you're right, Newcastle struggling around the rim.
Well, they're going to call an offensive foul here against Josh Ward-Hibbert after curling the screen. And at the moment, the Phoenix defense making life very difficult here for the Newcastle Eagles.
Here's the big bump.
Well, the Knicks now will get the ball back and a chance to extend on their 5-point lead.
And Newcastle Eagles shooting 35%. Josh, they're 5 from 14 from the 2-point strike, so just missing a few bunnies around the rim, which, they would make with their eyes closed usually. So they just need to lock in and make those layups.
7 here on the shot clock. Knicks now need to get something going. Going for another 3, double clutching in the air, but can't get it. Davis secures the rebound. Eagles trying to go quickly here with Larry Austin Jr. A bit of contact and again another at one. Larry Austin Jr. flexes the guns.
Yes, he does. He flexes, takes the hit, and uses the left hand. Why not? Showing what you've been doing in the off-season, hitting the gym.
Larry Austin Jr., a fan favorite for 2 seasons when he played for Cheshire Phoenix. But at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a timeout as the Newcastle Eagles and the Cheshire Phoenix are going to have a chance to talk this one over. But, you love to see how quickly Newcastle get the ball out in transition quickly.
Yeah, what I love about this game, it's a track meet. This isn't a basketball game. Newcastle missed. We saw Phoenix go right down and score a layup. Then come back, Austin Jr. answer, flex his muscles. This is going to be a tough game. I think this is going to come down really to the wire. So it's going to be important that you get extra possessions, meaning, multiple rebounds. You've got to sacrifice your body. So I think this is going to be a real thriller.
Well, interesting note about Larry Austin Jr. back in 2011, he played for the under-16 United States of America national team, where he was teammates with players such as Jabari Parker and Aaron Gordon. And Kendrick Nunn for that matter. We forget how great a player Larry Austin Jr. is.
Yeah, and he's coming off the bench for the Eagles. He didn't start this game, and I just know he's just ready to go, and you can see it in him. He's been in this league for a fair few years. He knows the British Basketball League very well, and he knows how to score, but also play great defense.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go to Caledonia Gladiators' next big game at home as they take on Surrey Scorchers. That will be on Sky Sports. But also, make sure you get a ticket to go to the new arena of the Caledonia Gladiators. That will be next week on Sky Sports.
That's exciting stuff happening in Scotland. They're really loving their basketball. The women's team doing great things. They're going to Europe as well. And then the men also, I just think they're doing a really good job down at the Gladiators.
Well, Caledonia unfortunately losing in the Basketball Champions League qualifiers to Fribourg Olympic. They'll still have European basketball on the horizon, as you mentioned, playing and featuring in the FIBA Europe Cup competition that's been played before by the London Lions and the Leicester Riders. And Teams aspiring to get to that level, but now Phoenix in, time again winding down. White goes for a fadeaway three-pointer. Can't get it. Larry Austin Jr. with a rebound. Looking to go all the way again. Can't get it. I'm still impressed he got the shot off and avoided the block. Phoenix again just holding on to the slender lead by a thread. Can Aaron Wright improve this? Is White now looking to post up against. Unable to capitalize. Both teams struggling inside the paint.
Yeah, they are. They all want to shoot this three-pointer, but it's important. I think this guy can just take his time, maybe shoot a little turnaround jump up.
Johnson so far has been the scoring leader for the Eagles in the last 2 games. Time expiring, going in with a tough layup and finishing under intense pressure by JJ. 12 points so far already here. Again, both teams, I mean, they are wasting no time to get the ball ahead.
Listen, they're going so fast enough. Our cameramen can't even keep up. That's how quick baskets are happening.
Newcastle still looking to get things going. Still trailing by 3. Kicking out to Johnson. Johnson almost turning it over, keeping it alive. Goes behind the back toward Hibbett. Are you kidding me? Jordan Johnson, something out of nothing with the behind the back dime.
And they're just sticking with it, really grinding this out.
Still a 1-point lead. Eagles looking to get a stop in. Phoenix looking for the 6th three-pointer. Unable to convert. This terrifying backcourt of Johnson finds Taj Green. Green goes up, good hands. Now they have numbers. Gives this one up, and can they finish? But a foul. Oh no, a charge has been called. That's a good defensive play by Josh Ward-Hibbett, but I have to ask the question, was he inside the restricted zone?
I want to see that too.
Yeah,
yes,
he was.
He was.
That should be a block. Now again, sorry, explain to our viewers what I meant by the restricted zone.
Yeah, so there's that little baby semicircle right under the rim, and if the defender's feet is inside that circle, then it should be a block. And look, he's upset, but it's a wrong call. Josh Ward-Hibbett's feet were inside. If he was outside of that little baby semicircle, then that's a great call. That's, you know, we've been on to the referees today, but that's a bad call, and now he's got 2 fouls and has to hit the bench.
Against plays like that would be very disappointing as Johnson kicks this one out. Another 3, but they're going to call an offensive foul. I think.
See, that one I'm going to say yes, that's a charge. Set his feet, was outside the semicircle, little baby semicircle. That's the right thing, but right now the referees are having a field day with this charge motion. And they're going to talk about it, which they should. They're also a team on the floor. The referees can come together, have a chat, make sure they get the right call. It's so important that they get this correct.
Well, interesting note about the last 5 times these two teams have played, Cheshire Phoenix have defeated Newcastle in all of the previous 5 encounters. So big point here for the Newcastle Eagles to try and pick up a moral victory against almost a bogey team that they've had to play here in the league. Ryan looking to isolate. Nice solid post move there from the big man. Seeing a bit of a Zania Stewart in his game.
Yeah, I was about to say lovely footwork, kept that pivot foot down and rotated, took his time, and then the nice finish.
Goes back door, nice little time here, just finishes inside the paint. That will do Newcastle Eagles confidence. A lot of good getting those buckets inside the paint.
I'm loving this game right now. There's so much fun basketball. People are playing hard, great highlight moves.
Going off the backboard, a nice little play there. Both teams showing the confidence from early on here between each other. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go for a short break, and we'll be back momentarily.
work in, you put the work in, everyone knows you deserve it. They must be blind like curtains, certain anything you got, you've earned it. Sky's the limit, you're lost of heights achievable. Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable.
Every time they wanna clash, I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stop, and we're running out the clock. I fail, what's gonna stop? I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Welcome back, Basel fans, here to this British Basel League fixture between the Newcastle Eagles and the Cheshire Phoenix. We're live here at the Virtu Motors Arena. And if you are watching us live on the YouTube stream, please can you hit that like button, but also please can you subscribe to the British Basel League on YouTube and all other social media platforms. Well, there you can see the latest score between the Manchester Giants and the Plymouth City Patriots. And Zania, your prediction might be coming true tonight as the Giants retaking the lead. Well, Johnson going for a deep triple and he ties the game up at 31 apiece. He is on fire at the moment.
He is oozing confidence. It is just, you can see it. It's coming out of him. He's skipping down. He's excited. He's fun. And I'm really enjoying him this evening. He's been playing great all season, to be honest.
Right, but he did play in the British Basel League a few seasons ago for the Northern Caledonia Gladiators. They were known as the Scottish Rocks, but at the moment, another turnover for the Phoenix. And you know, the question you got to ask is a team that predominantly likes to shoot from the perimeter.
Yeah.
If it doesn't start working for you, what do you have to change in your game to stay in the game?
You know, right now they're 5 from 18. They started off hot and they've kind of lulled themselves into keep shooting, but you're right. I think you slow it down, you get something good at the rim, maybe a shot fake, have the defense run you off the three-point line and go to the rim.
Well, the Eagles going inside the paint, unable to take the lead. Phoenix coming up with a loose ball. Right, kicking this one out, they get another wide open look and another three-point again. It's just uncontested, and it's only going to be one outcome for the Phoenix.
And you come down and you hit one, you know? It's like a quick answer back. They call it you live and you die by the three, and I just think they're going to do that this evening.
No, this
the
is
whole
not
season.
Something new here for the Phoenix. Traditionally, for all the teams that we've seen them feature over the last decade, predominantly the culture has been a three-point shooting team. Hudson trying to lead things here in the backcourt for the Knicks. Rye has to isolate. Goes for another step back three. Can't get it, but a big rebound by Taj Green. Johnson now looking to isolate, but again, drawing two defenders. One of the biggest improvements of this Newcastle team has been in the backcourt. As Delpesh again trying to take a body with him. They're turning it over. Foul is going to be called against Taj Green.
Green walks straight to the bench. Let's have a look. Just jump. That's really undisciplined and just runs straight into Skylar White. I don't know if he's upset or he wants to come out the game, but that's a silly foul. And it's a second personal.
You know, great as a player that he is. You know, those are the kind of mistakes that when you go into the European Northern Basketball, you can't make. Of course, Zarian right in the corner. And again, they are unconscious from the perimeter. The Knicks are just lighting it up here in Newcastle. On the penetration, no help side. Well, somebody called the helpline. We have no help side defenders. They have gone missing.
We have no defense at all.
Again, both teams showing a bit of anxiety in the defense, but also the Knicks. Costly turnover that leads to an unnecessary foul. Ricky McGill just gets thrown to the ground. I think just lost his balance there. Not too much in it, of course, but Yeah, we talk about no defense, but Cheshire Phoenix, time and time again, they've had time to turn this game around, but just haven't been able to do so. Well, Newcastle looking to tie the game up, maybe go for the lead if they can go for a three-pointer. Currently Ward Hibbert, midfield Ricky McGill, and Johnson in the backcourt, but a foul is going to be called against the Cheshire Phoenix.
But I'm liking Newcastle. They're mixing it up. They're slashing to the rim, getting lovely layups, and then also, with that, you can kick it out to the three-point shot. They haven't shot as many as the Phoenix, but they're doing really well in their offense and executing.
Oh my goodness! Del Pesh just elevated over the entire city of Newcastle with no regard for the Cheshire Phoenix help side defense. Well, Del Pesh putting on a show here. And again, I like not a big reaction there from the home crowd.
Oh. Took my breath away.
Another penetration. And another turnover. And again, somebody. I would like to see the replay of that moment with Del Pesh. This man.
Look at this.
I mean, Del Pesh defying the laws of gravity. And even with a help side, I mean, I'm surprised he didn't get an @1 on that play.
Listen, that was perfect. It's like it went straight into his hand and just slammed it home. Good job, Del Pesh. Now you're going to ask me which one's my favorite one.
I think we just found out.
Yeah.
Well, tie game now. One thing the Eagles haven't been able to do so far is take the lead, but Del Pesh in the paint. Too big, too strong, and just too good for Mr. Del Pesh.
Doesn't feel like a two-point game,
I really doesn't.
Yeah,
No.
I feel like Newcastle have the momentum, and then I look at the score and I'm like, what? They're playing really well, but this is going back and forth like I knew it would.
Well, Hudson kicking this one out. Phoenix maybe looking to go for the lead, but going to take this one inside the paint. Hudson gets a three off in time. Three is up, and again, no good. Not quite the shot they wanted, but one thing I like about Jack Hudson is he becomes a reliable point guard coming off the bench, which we saw him when he played for both the Manchester Giants and, of course, currently with the Cheshire Phoenix.
Yeah, solid guy. He's definitely built his trust with Coach Ben. Comes off and just does his job very well. Stays in his lane, shoots his shots. And I like his minutes there. It's just too easy right now. The layups are just way, too easy for Newcastle. They're getting anything they want. Phoenix need to step up their defense.
Well, now making it a two-possession game here for the Newcastle Eagles. And again, turning this game around. This is what this home crowd needs. Remember, we're talking about the most successful team in the history of the British Basketball League. And this home crowd, it can go for you or against you, as we've seen in the past two seasons for the Eagles.
Oh, it's a good Friday night, as that lady yawns. Come on, love, get into it. This is Newcastle action. They need you. And but a wonderful crowd, traditional. They love their basketball up in Newcastle. Yeah, I think this is, I can't call this game, and I said Newcastle because they're at home, but they're scoring at will, and that's what, I think is going to get them to the finish line. But the three-point line is, Cheshire is doing very, very well, but they're not shy, that's for sure.
Well, Basel fans currently watching this game on the British Basketball League's YouTube page, we do apologize for the technical difficulties you're experiencing currently on YouTube. If you restart your feed by clicking on the link in the comments, then that should restart your stream and work well. We do apologize, but again, don't go away, as this is an exciting game here between the Newcastle Eagles and the Cheshire Phoenix. Of course, I mean, I want to see more high-flying action from both Taj Green and Del Pesh. This is what you come to see in the British Basketball League. High-flying superstar basketball players.
That's for sure. Let's see what Ben Thomas drew up.
Well, Rise dumped down again. Well, beautifully executed, but couldn't finish it. As David Olf just chokes under a little bit of pressure. Well, the Eagles have never led by more than 4 points so far in this game. finding Ricky McGill. McGill now shifting and shaking, taking the mid-range, but Yang can't get it. Phoenix looking to chip into the deficit. Off down the middle. An unorthodox offense, but it's going to be an offensive foul. I wonder, was he the primary defender?
And also, is he inside? He's inside the little baby mini.
That's the second time now that he's taken the charge with inside the restricted zone, and they've called a block.
Yep.
Well, timeout called here for the Newcastle Eagles as they have 3 seconds, leading by 4 points here at the end of the second quarter. That's plenty of time, of course. 3 seconds to try and orchestrate something to get one final look here at the end of the first half.
I'm going to go ahead and get the top referee. I've got him in my WhatsApp, so I might have to give him a little nudge and say, hey, both of those charges were inside the semicircle.
I like that. You got the referees on speed dial.
I do. I think it's important because, you know, I like to know what they're looking for in the season, but also, you know, open communication.
Of course, Ben Thomas knows that his team are on the back foot after a good start from the perimeter, but at the moment, I mean, they do have some... Well, the problem is, no, they don't have any fouls to give, so any fouls will send the Newcastle Eagles to the free throw line, so they must be very disciplined here in this final defensive play. Larry Austin Jr.'s defensive presence really has made things difficult for the Cheshire Knicks. But at the moment, Newcastle will inbound it in their half as they have 3 seconds, as we mentioned, to get one final possession, leading by 4 points. Well, they get the ball inbound. They got to be quick here. Finds Ward Hibbett, doesn't get it off in time. And ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the first half, it is the Newcastle Eagles who lead this one 41-37 against the Cheshire Phoenix. Well, time, we're going to take a short little break as we will be back momentarily.